G'day, it's Phil here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking through $2 coins again, looking for commemorative coins, rare coins, and coins worth more than face value. Again, we've got my $2 collection book here, already partly filled with the commemorative coins that we've found so far. And as we go through the rolls, I'll mainly be looking at the reverses, just looking for the commemorative coins. So it's been a while since we've actually had a look at the book in any real detail, so I'll just quickly go through what we've found so far over the last 80-something hunts. So we've got the 2012 Remembrance Gold Poppy, the 2013 Coronation, the 2014 Green Dove, and the 2015 Anzac Cove. And then we've got the Flanders Fields and the Changeover. And then we have 5 2016 Olympic coins, plus the Paralympic coin. And then we've got the Rosemary from 2017, as well as the Napier Waller's Mosaic from 2017. We've got 3 Possum Magics, and then the Eternal Flame. We've got 2018's Invictus Games, and then we've got 3 Commonwealth Games coins from 2018. And we've got 100 Years of Armistice from 2018 as well. Then on our second page, we've got some Mr. Squiggles. We've got 4 Mr. Squiggles, Mr. Squiggle, Gus, Blackboard, and Bill. And then we've got the Wallabies coin from 2019, and also the Police coin from 2019, which is 30th anniversary of the remembrance of the police. And then we have 100 Years of Repatriation as well from 2019. We have a 2019 Jodie Clark, just for good measure. And then we've got the T20 Women's T20 World Cup from Woolworths. And then on to the 75th years of the end of Second World War. And the Firefighters coin, Aboriginal flag. Then we're on to 2020 and the Olympic coins. So we have 5 of those with the colours, as well as Lizzie the Lizard for the Paralympic. And then the Wiggles 30th anniversary, Captain Feathersword, Wags the Dog, Henry the Dinosaur, and Dorothy the Dinosaur and Henry the Octopus. We've got the Ambulance Services coin, and then the Indigenous Military Services coin. And then we're on to the third page, and we have 2022's Australia's Frontline Workers. We're missing the Honeybee, and then we've got the AU and the S from the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, and then the Socceroos Centenary from Woolworths. And lastly, we have the 75th anniversary peacekeeping, which we've only found in the last little while. So that's the book, and that took a bit more time than I thought it would. So we'll get into the rolls today, see how we're going, see if we can get some colour, something older, something newer, something with a red poppy on it. That'd be handy. Even some of the older ones that are worth more than face value, so that we can add it to the red poppy fund. That would be great. But if we find the red poppy, we don't have to spend the money on the red poppy fund, so that would be the better outcome. Just find a red poppy, Phil. That's all we need to do. We're also looking for 2011 coins because they are lower minted. We're looking for errors, mostly rim cuds on these Aboriginal elders. And then also, if we can find a coin that's not intended for circulation, we'll be looking for a 1991, which was not intended for circulation because it was only made for the sets. Got to be confused there. So hopefully we can find something worthwhile. It'd be nice if we can find a bit of colour. It's been a little while with good colour, other than the Woolworths, except for obviously the Peacekeepers, which was very, very recent. I'd like to add a bit of $2 action to the red poppy fund rather than just relying on the 50-cent pieces. So hopefully we can find something today, some extra colour. That'd be nice. And then we have a changeover, 2016's changeover coin. And I've just noticed that we probably Could probably pull in a bit. Don't need a massive space underneath the coins, because there's not going to be rows and rows of common commemoratives, because there's a couple of common commemoratives, but we're not going to be finding staggering amounts of them. And when I say common commemorative, I'm talking about the gold poppies and the eternal flames. They're somewhere in the 5 million mark. That makes it a common commemorative, but if you've been watching my videos, you know that they don't. Certainly in the hunts that I have here from coins out of Melbourne, I don't get scads and scads of them. And that 2016 that is there on the table, that is also not necessarily common either. It's 2.88, a bit more than most of the common commemoratives, but still, I don't find them in every hunt, or even in every 2 hunts, $1,000. So as I say that means that 2 hunts is $1,000. I'm doing $500, which is 10 rolls. Oh, that's quite beaten up. And as I flick through, you'll see that I flick through relatively quickly. In relation to colour, I know that if I look at the year, and it's anywhere between or before 2012, there's not going to be any commemoratives. So I just look for cuds on those coins, because the first coloured commemorative only came out in 2012, the red poppy. So anything dated before then, if I see the date first, I know it's not going to be a commemorative. So I'm just looking for cuds. So that's 2 I've dropped on the floor already. Nothing, but I do see something shiny at the bottom of the roll. So we'll see how that goes. And so not really that much else to talk about in the coin news this week. I know that the investment coins were the only coins that really came out this month in December. It'll probably be close to Christmas by the time this comes out. I should figure out what date it's going to be out. There we go. We have a 2022 coin there. It doesn't have the denomination on the obverse, so it's a 2022 Commonwealth Games, the A coin, Birmingham Commonwealth Games. So that's not a bad bit of colour, something at least. Not as prolific, in my opinion, these Commonwealth Games coins, as other Olympic or Wiggles or corporate issues. They don't seem to be as prolific in the rolls. I do have a fair amount of them, because I swapped around for them, but I certainly haven't found scattered a lot of them in the circulation like I would normally on a Woolworths issue. And I don't know if that's because there's a lot of heat on the $2 coins. Here we have a 2020 striving, the yellow ring of striving from the 2020 Olympic Games that happened in 2021. And then in the centre there, the eternal flame. And I have as many of those Olympic coins as I do have for what I swapped into the Commonwealth Games coins. But if they had been turning up great numbers in rolls, I wouldn't have to have swapped for them. And there's a 2011. That's a low minted 1.8 million of those low minted Aboriginal Elder. So pull that one out. Lovely. And this, I haven't heard anything in relation to new issues of coins, so I'm not sure that there's going to be anything early, say February or March. I have to wait a couple more days to see if the legislation gets updated. The federal parliament has just stopped sitting in the last week or so, which means that it may take a few days for the active legislation to update on the website that advises the public of all the legislation that's been passed, and that's what I wait for, because new coins have to be legislated and they have to be agreed to, and then it goes on public record what they're going to be. Check that every month or so after Parliament has sat to see if there's any descriptions of new coins coming up, which will happen with at least a month or 2 months notice. So what we should get is, if Parliament agreed for new coins next year, we should get the idea of what it's going to be, new designs and so forth. We never get the amount. We don't, and there's not there's no pictures of them, but they're described. So we get an idea usually about what sort of commemorative coins that we're going to have. And that's probably important for next year, because if they haven't changed their mind, they have said already that they wouldn't be issuing any coins for circulation next year until the new effigy of Charles has been agreed to. And here we have $2 on the obverse, which means it's going to be some sort of colour coin. It's the 2020, and so it's Lizzie the Lizard from the Australian Paralympic team. It's not a bad find. So most likely what we'll see at this time of year is what's going to come out in probably February, March and April, which would include anything to do with the April release, which is usually the Anzac release. And most likely, as I say, just collector coins, not usually, or if they've said there's going to be no circulating coins, then in the last couple of years when they've issued commemorative coins at Anzac and Remembrance Day, they've been issuing the full 2 million and putting them out, like the frontline workers, which was in the set, like the honeybee coin, which came out in rolls, and the 75th anniversary of peacekeeping, which also came out in rolls, unless they change their mind and advise us differently. It seems like there's only going to be collector coins next year, which, based on the way that the mint has been handling collector only coins like the red poppy, it could be a disaster for individual collectors next year. Hopefully they can sort that out, get some larger issue numbers. But we'll have to wait and see. And you'll note I've got the green paper of the Prosegur rolls. I'm not keen to go back to Armaguard after last week's first dead hunt. But yeah, probably go for a little while, just sticking with the older coins. Give it a week or so. I might have to wait till Christmas. I'm trying to create a backlog because I'm going to go, I'll be away for a little bit, and so I need to get a couple of videos ahead. So there we are to the last roll. So a few coloured coins. Nothing spectacular though. Hopefully this last roll gives us a bit of a last roll luck. And we have another striving. So, as we wind down to the last few coins, I think there's another something, just a few coins down there. We'll get there when we get there though. Before I say it hasn't been a bad hunt, we'll see if this is anything. No, it's just a shiny new 2022. So it hasn't been too bad of a hunt. Nothing there to overexcite. And that's pretty much it. So I don't need to go through the Aboriginal elders. We went through those pretty slowly. Picked up a 2011 low minted Aboriginal elder. That's the first cab off the rank. Then we picked up a 2016 changeover. It's not in bad nick. It's starting to show a bit of wear. And then we got some colour. We got two of the striving from the Australian Olympic team in 2020 Olympics. And one Lizzie the Lizard from the Australian Paralympic team. And then lastly, the 2022 Commonwealth Games Birmingham A coin on the AUNS series. So there we have it. Not a dead hunt. A bit of colour there, so it's not a I can still be proud of it. Put something into the collection. But I thank you very much for watching. If you like what I do, please think about subscribing. Give me the thumbs up. Leave a comment about what you're finding in your area, or if it is indeed like my area, starting to get quite stale with what's available and the older RAM colour, if you're actually finding any of that. Or indeed any of the new stuff. Is the honeybee still around in South Australia? Are you still finding peacekeepers up in Brisbane? Let me know what you're finding in your area. I'd love to hear what's going on in Perth and Sydney. I haven't heard much of what's going on in Sydney lately. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.